Hello again. Thank you very much for joining me here on Movie Ninja. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the new Netflix anime series, Trese. Let me ask you just a few simple questions. Do you like urban fantasy? Do you like action anime? If you said yes to either one, I think you're in good shape with Trese. Now, what is Trese about? Trese is about the titular Alexandra Trese. And she is, even in the words of the creator, in the words of the man who wrote the character and, began this whole journey with a graphic novel 16 years ago. This was supposed to be a blend of Batman and John Constantine. And Alexandra Lacan is part warrior, part diplomat for the human and supernatural worlds. And so what she does is she, typically in the show, she assists with police cases involving in some way, shape, or form an element of the supernatural. When it comes to mysterious deaths or abductions or kidnappings, these are aspects like, well, we have no leads and we have no idea how we would even explain this to people, so we need to call in an expert, and that is Alexandra Trese. So she does what she does. She goes in, she does her investigations, and if a supernatural creature just needs its stuff straightened out, you go to Alexandra Trese and her crew to help fix the problem. Now, when it comes to this type of stuff, like when it comes to urban fantasy, I think I've been kind of starved for a number of years to just see something that I haven't seen before. Now that being said, stateside urban fantasy is usually going to involve one of three things, or probably all three things. It's like, this victim looks like they were torn apart by a wild dog, but the fang that we found is way too big. Probably you're dealing with werewolves. Oh my goodness, this victim has bite marks on their neck, and they've lost a lot of blood. More than likely you're dealing with a vampire. Or in the more Jim Butcher realm, or various other media that have been influenced by Jim Butcher. No hate to Jim Butcher, but he kind of proliferated something less like something vaguely Arthuriana, or vaguely like the Fey, Seelie, Unseelie court thing like that. That's a dime a dozen at this point. That's a dime 1,200, like 1,200, like 100 dozen. Or whatever, because, I like seeing things that I've never seen before. And this taps into an entire culture that, because I'm not in any way, shape, or form gonna, play or pretend that I know even an ounce of Filipino mythology or Filipino folklore, and like that. What I really do like about the show is that it makes me interested in this aspect, because it takes place in Manila. Alexandra Trese is based out of the city of Manila, and it's a nexus point for a lot of supernatural goings on. And with her, I do not know what an aswang is. I do not know what a tikbalang is. The creature Nuno. What is that? What is that? I really like this to the point where it makes me want to look up what these creatures are and to learn more. And I think when you have a bit of cultural media like that, I think that really just talks to the strength of the overall production. There is one, they mention, there is sort of an earth creature. Now they mention, and this might be a little bit of spin-off, is because in the Hispanic community, they mention a duende. Now for those who don't know, a duende is, at least in our culture, the southwestern, Hispanic communities, a duende is like a goblin. It's typically not good, but they can be appeased given certain offerings or certain rituals, things like that. Now I don't know, because they use the word duende, and not whenever you hear a word said in another culture or another language that sounds like something that you have, that you have come into contact with, that doesn't necessarily mean, and yes, there is somewhat of a shared, troubled shared historical background between the Philippines and the Spanish-speaking peoples or Spanish peoples. That in and of itself is not okay. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Anyways, there might be a little bit of spillover with the way that certain things were sort of translated, or the way certain things are like understood. So when they say like duende, I was like, I got something. I was like, okay, and the particular creature that they were using to describe the duende is okay. That might be a little bit of a little bit of something shared. Like maybe that was something that eventually, centuries ago, generations ago, that word got just sort of like mixed into the linguistic stew pot or something like that. Anyways, the creatures, the mythology, I love it, and it makes me want to learn more, and I absolutely love it. The story structure overall is also very interesting. Each episode begins touching on events in Alexandra Trese's past and leading up to very important events in the season finale, in episode 6. It's only 6 episodes. It is only 6 episodes, and this is like, you go to a friend's house, they have pizza, and they have like 2-3 boxes, but you can only have one. You can only have one slice. Like, wait, what? But you got yeah, but you only get one. Okay? And that's just the way it is. What is this? There's only 6 episodes. There's only 6. Please, guys, watch this show. Support this show so we can get another season. I think a better description probably would be, it's like, you have a plate full of lumpia, and I'm only allowed one. And I had not just one of chicken or one of pork or one of like whatever. I can only have one lumpia. That's not gonna. It's delicious. I want more than that. So why would you do this? Netflix, why would you only greenlight 6 episodes? And the thing is, like, the pacing is so well done. It is tight to where, like, with 6 episodes leading up from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and as I mentioned, the way that they set up, significant story events, narrative events, at the very beginning of the episode, and then leading up to the 6th. So you can't fast forward. You can still skip the intro. You have a skip intro button, but it doesn't come up until after the primary sort of like story setup. And I like that. I like that they allow that, because you need to watch the whole thing, like from the beginning till the credits, because otherwise in episodes 5 and 6 you're gonna be completely lost. Or you're just like, oh wait, so what are these? So these 2 characters are way more important than I thought. What's going on here? And Alexandra is really this character or something like that. What's going on here? Like, do yourself a favor. If you watch the show, which I am encouraging, please, please watch from the very beginning. Don't fast forward. Watch from the very beginning to the end credits of each episode. Otherwise, like the last 2 episodes, you're going to be very lost. You're going to be very lost. And just, it's not going to be as fun. So, like I said, this is a great show. I will give a little bit of a note, a little bit of warning. This is animated, but in no way, shape, or form is this a show for younger audiences. No. There is being a horror-based urban fantasy. There's a lot of gore. There is a lot of violence, because once again, she's the Lacan. She is someone who is like, beats down doors, kicks butt, and takes names, for the sake of protecting the humans and preserving the peace with the supernatural world. So, once again, it's not, because I know a lot of people are like, well, I've seen some of your reviews, and you seem kind of like, on how violence is used. Yeah, if it's gratuitous, and what I mean by gratuitous is, there's not really any purpose to it, it's too much. But in the murder cases, or when she's fighting for her life, yeah, stuff stuff can get violent. You know, I haven't seen this stuff before. Like, I haven't read the John Constantine comic books. Like, I haven't seen the John Constantine film. Like, I haven't seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer time after time. Yeah, I got nothing against, like, violence when it's done properly, when it's done well. So anyways, once again, so please do yourself a favor, watch Alexandra Trese, except the younger audiences. This is not for younger audiences. But please support this show. Please let us get a second season. This is too good to just stop with 6 episodes. So please support this show. Please watch this show, and hey, see for yourself. See, it was like, well, this guy is really like hyping it up. I'm not trying to hype it up. I'm just trying to convey my positivity, and then just like hopefully drum up some kind of support for some kind of second season. Okay, so I really enjoyed it. It meets my tastes for horror, urban fantasy. You know, it's a new kind of like anime set in a setting that many of us in the West haven't seen before. You know, so yeah, I'm just trying to say, hopefully I'm not overhyping it. All I'm really trying to say is it's a good show. It's worth your time if you like these genres, you know, and please support it so that it can have a second season, because I feel like it really does deserve a second season. So that's my review overall of Trese season 1, and I please please support the show. And also, if you like this review and you would like to see like similar type reviews to it, please give this video a like. If you would like to help the channel grow, please consider subscribing. Thank you very much for joining me here on Movie Ninja, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.